January 14th, 1942. Santa Isabel, Fernando Po Island. A British officer walks into the Punta Europa nightclub with Spanish wine and a ridiculous plan. Throw a party, get every Italian and German captain drunk, then steal their ships. The Special Operations executive called it absurd. You're throwing a party and stealing 3 warships? That's the plan, sir. Stupidest operation I've ever authorized. I once approved exploding rats. But it might work. Santa Isabel Harbor, 3 enemy vessels. The Duchessa d'Aosta, an Italian liner. The Licomba, a German tugboat. The Burundi, a supply barge. Trapped in neutral Spanish territory. British can't attack. Spain is neutral. Military action means war. But what if the ships disappeared? Best party Fernando Po ever saw. Ships mysteriously sail away. Italians and Germans sober up. Vessels already 500 miles away in British waters. No explosions, no gunfire, no international incident. Just wine, music, and the most audacious heist in SOE history. Welcome to Operation Postmaster. Britain won a naval battle without firing a shot. They bought everyone drinks instead. Fernando Po, tiny Spanish island off West Africa. Strategically critical. Control Fernando Po. Control shipping lanes to South America and Europe. January 1942. German U-boats ravaging Allied convoys. They needed supply bases, somewhere neutral to refuel. Fernando Po was perfect. 3 ships in Santa Isabel Harbor. The Duchessa d'Aosta carried supplies. The Licomba towed damaged U-boats. The Burundi ferried ammunition, significant threat to Allied shipping. Spain was neutral. Britain couldn't attack without diplomatic crisis. Ships just sat there, resupplying Axis forces. The Special Operations executive had a different idea. Major Gus March Phillips commanded the small-scale raiding force. Elite unit. Operations requiring imagination and ruthlessness. Captain Jeffrey Appleyard, his second, was a champion skier and saboteur. Successful raids in Norway and France. New target, Fernando Po. The plan? Simple concept, insane execution. First, infiltrate posing as businessmen, gather intelligence, ship schedules, crew routines, harbor security. Second, organize a party, really good party. Every Italian and German officer invited, drinking and dancing until too drunk to notice. Third, SOE commandos sneak into harbor. Overpower skeleton crews, plant explosives on anchor chains, tow vessels to sea. Fourth, rendezvous with British tugboat, sail away before anyone realizes. Simple, clean, insane. Capture 3 enemy vessels without firing a shot and throw one hell of a party. January 10th, 1942, 4 days before. Captain Guys arrives disguised as timber merchant. Real mission, survey harbor, identify guards, locate anchor chains. 3 days wandering docks, pretending to inspect lumber, actually counting sentries. Problem 1. Duchessa d'Aosta has 6 armed guards, heavily armed, alert. Problem 2. Harbor Master's office overlooks the port, would see ships being towed. Problem 3. Anchor chains are massive, cutting takes too long, too loud, need explosives, precise explosives that sever chains without waking the island. Guys reports, we need a distraction, big one. They recruit Richard Lippett, nightclub owner, hates Axis powers, loves parties, agrees to host event of the year, January 14th. Party begins 8 o'clock p.m. Punta Europa, free Spanish wine, live music, dancing, every Italian and German officer invited. 9:30 p.m. Club packed, German officers dance, Italian captains argue about football, wine flows, nobody notices March Phillips and 11 commandos slip out at 10:15 p.m. 3 teams, small boats, row silently toward harbor. No lights, no talking. 11 o'clock p.m. Ships reached. Team 1 boards Duchessa d'Aosta. 6 guards, 6 silenced pistols. Overpowered in seconds. No shots, no alarms. Team 2 takes Licomba. 2 guards, drunk, asleep, tied up. Team 3 secures Burundi. No guards. Now the hard part, anchor chains. 11:30 p.m. 3 anchor chains, 3 explosive charges. Commandos work in darkness. Feel for chain links, wrap explosives, set timers. Music drifts from Punta Europa. Party going strong, Italian officers singing, German captains dancing, nobody suspects. 11:45 p.m. First charge detonates, muffled crack, Duchessa's chain splits, splashes, Harbor Master's office. Did you hear that? Probably fireworks, you know parties. 60 seconds. Second charge blows. Licomba lurches, chain severs, Spanish guards run, flashlights sweep harbor. Too late. British tugboat Vulcan surges from darkness. Tow lines ready. Commandos throw lines. Tow line connects. Italian liner moves toward open water. Licomba and Burundi secured. Journey begins. Spanish soldiers reach docks. All three ships clearing harbor. Warning shots. Bullets splash harmlessly behind vessels. Punta Europa nightclub. Officers drinking, dancing. Unaware ships being towed by British commandos. Guys checks watch. 12:15 a.m. 3 vessels captured. 0 shots. 0 casualties. The party? Still strong. Band plays. Wine flows. 3 hours before anyone realizes. By then, ships 200 miles away in international waters. Mission accomplished. Wine and music instead of guns. 3:00 a.m. Party ends. Italian captain stumbles out. Drunk, happy, exhausted. Looks toward harbor. Freezes. The Duchessa should be there. Massive. Impossible to miss. Harbor empty. Blinks. Rubs eyes. Still empty. Where's my ship? Another officer. Stares. Where's the Licomba? Chaos erupts. Officers run to harbor master's office. Spanish harbor master confused. They were here 3 hours ago. Ships don't disappear. Apparently these ones did. Dawn. Full scope clear. 3 Axis vessels. Gone. Stolen while everyone drank and danced. German attaché demands investigation. Act of war. Britain violated neutrality. Spanish government has a problem. Admit British infiltration makes Spain look incompetent. Strategic decision. Deny everything. No evidence of British involvement. Ships broke moorings. Strong currents. Unfortunate. All 3 ships? Stranger things happen. 200 miles away. Vulcan arrives Lagos, Nigeria. British territory. Duchessa, Licomba, Burundi seized as prizes. Italian liner converted to troop transport. German tugboat joins Royal Navy. Burundi becomes Allied supply barge. 3 vessels captured. No casualties. No law violations. No diplomatic crisis. Just a good party and skilled commandos. Churchill. Brilliant example of enterprise, ruthlessness, and imagination. Germans and Italians. Most embarrassing naval loss of the war. Strategic impact extended beyond 3 ships. First, eliminated critical Axis supply point. U-boats couldn't use Fernando Po anymore. Forced longer distances, reducing South Atlantic effectiveness. Second, proved unconventional tactics achieve what conventional force couldn't. Royal Navy couldn't attack. SOE commandos stole with wine and explosives. Third, terrified Axis powers. Britain infiltrated Spanish island, threw party, stole ships. What else possible? No neutral harbor felt safe. German Naval Intelligence Directive, all vessels maintain full crews, no shore leave, no parties, trust no one. Most important impact, British morale. Early 1942, Britain losing. U-boats destroying convoys, Luftwaffe bombing London. Japan captured Singapore. Operation Postmaster gave Britain desperate victory. Clever, audacious, impossible. Proved ingenuity could overcome German superiority. March Phillips and Appleyard became SOE legends. More raids in France and Norway. Tragically, both died 1942. March Phillips killed during Operation Aquatint. Appleyard in plane crash over Mediterranean. Legacy lived on. Operation Postmaster required study at military academies. Tactics refined, replicated. 1943, British commandos used similar distraction in Norway. 1944, American OSS employed party-based deception in Italy. Clear lesson. Sometimes best weapon isn't gun or bomb. Sometimes just good wine and better planning. Operation Postmaster changed Special Forces thinking. Before, commando operations focused on violence, blow up target, kill enemy, escape. After, deception as effective as firepower. Why fight when you can trick? Why destroy when you can steal? Philosophy influenced countless operations. Double-cross system. Operation Mincemeat. Ghost Army. Same principle. Outsmart. Don't outgun. SOE became experts. Parties distracted guards. Forged documents misdirected patrols. Rumors created chaos. Creativity was a weapon. Most ridiculous plan actually works. 1952. British film The Seawolves dramatized the operation. 40 years later, historians revealed classified details. World learned about party that stole ships, changed naval warfare. Today, Special Forces study Operation Postmaster. Not military brilliance, psychological genius. Commandos understood. People see what they expect. Good party, nobody questions ships moving. Assume logistics, maintenance, routine. By the time they realize, you're 200 miles away. March Phillips never saw how influential his operation became. Died at 32, leading another impossible mission. But legacy endures. Every time Special Forces choose deception over destruction. Outsmart instead of outfight. Win without firing a shot. That's Operation Postmaster's legacy. Proved the party and well-placed explosive mightier than the sword.